So unfortunately enough, the Los Angeles Chargers came up short yet again against the Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes still has not lost on the road. Of course, becoming the starter in 2018. Pretty remarkable. But the thing about this game was Justin Herbert going 23 of 30 for 280 yards, two touchdowns, and an interception. Obviously, Mike Williams was available, but was on the sideline, so you're without him. Josh Palmer stepped up big time, a couple of touchdowns, balled out. Keenan Allen had a monster catch, and honestly, the Chargers they fought hard, but you got to understand that touchdown to Palmer late in the fourth quarter were the only points of the game in the second half. So once again, the Chargers in the second half did not show up, and this game just came down to depth, right? I love the Chargers. I make cheese videos, but I even make it clear in those videos that Chargers are my team, bro. Thunder Alley was my first ever team channel, and I'm rocking with the Chargers heavy, man. Got a lot of love for them, but the Chiefs just have depth. The Chiefs they were without Tony, without obviously Nicole Hardman, right? And they're just there's safety in the second half, and they go out there and they make plays, and it's tough because Mahomes is he's the favorite for MVP. The Chiefs are the one seed, but it's just there's just been a lot more around Mahomes, even though they've got that depth. I mean, it's not like Mahomes has been without Kelsey this season. He's had MBS, and the Chiefs' defense has been much better, right? I mean, the Chargers' run defense is still horrible. It's actually the worst thing in the league. And in terms of the secondary, I mean, J.C. Jackson is out, bro. Even when he was on the field, he just weren't getting production. So Derwin James, he was asked to defend Travis Kelsey, the greatest tight end. 33, sure, but he's still the greatest tight end we've ever seen. And he got beat on that last play that led Kelsey to score. And I mean, I wasn't mad. Like, there wasn't an ounce of anger in me at that. I mean, you're asking anyone to man Travis Kelsey. I mean, like, how is that? That's not possible. You can't do that. And Brandon Staley is a great coach at putting his defensive playmakers in positions to succeed, but there is no position to succeed when you are going up against Travis Kelsey. But what's going on, guys? Thunder Alley, you're back, man. I apologize for not making a video about the game right after, but I just didn't know what to say, man. I didn't even want to make any video. It's disappointing, you know? It's disappointing. I thought this was the Chargers' year, and then they were derailed by injuries. And even though they've been injured, they still should have beat the 49ers, quote-unquote contender. They still should have beat the Chiefs, a contender. But the second half, they just don't show up. And Austin Eckler, they didn't really get much out of him. I mean, I know he found the end zone, but I was kind of hoping that they'd get Eckler going. And I'm going to pull up the stats here because, like I said, it was 2 days ago. I mean, so Austin Eckler, he was 19 for 83, which is 4.4 yards per carry and a touchdown. Obviously, that's pretty good as a receiver. Eckler, just 2 receptions for 17 yards. I don't know. Maybe I was asking too much. I wanted a double touchdown game from Eckler. I was facing him in fantasy, and if he had done that, I would have lost. So, but at the end of the day, I mean, I definitely would rather the Chargers win than my fantasy team, even though I'm losing money. I'm a Charger fan, so and the Chiefs are just dominate this division, bro. What is Mahomes' record, bro, against the AFC West? I think he's lost 3 games, I want to say, and they were all in Arrowhead. So it's kind of annoying. Like, as much as I like Chiefs fans, they're always good, and it's time for someone else to take this division. I figured the Chargers would, but they did not. And I mean, that was kind of what I took from it, was that yeah, Justin Herbert is a generational type of talent, but there's just nothing around him. And you've got Andy Reid and Spagnuolo over there in Kansas City. I mean, Staley is okay. I don't think Staley is a bad coach, but I don't think he's a good coach. Defensive wise, I like him, but I mean, Lombardi, I don't know, bro. There's something with the Chargers that just kind of grinds my gears. But even though the Chargers did lose, there still is optimism moving forward. Why? Oh, you're going up against the Cardinals, who just got completely smoked by the 49ers. And then you're taking on the Las Vegas Raiders, who you guys beat in week 1, obviously, back in Los Angeles. And then after that, you're going up against the Dolphins, but you're in Los Angeles, so I'd be concerned if that game is Miami, but being at home. And it's not like the weather, it's just more so, I don't know. And even to that point, the Chargers should be a lot healthier, right? Mike Williams should be good to go. Keenan Allen is, he's still coming back, but obviously he made a huge catch against the Chiefs and stuff like that, but I don't know about, obviously, Joey Bosa. We miss him, man. We really miss Bosa and what he brings. I mean, he's not quite on Derwin's level, but he's right close to it. He's right below it, and just we need to get some more playmakers out there. After the Dolphins game, obviously the Titans ranked the Colts, my Colts, Rams, and Denver. So, I mean, realistically speaking, I just if the Chargers lose to the Raiders or the Cardinals, they don't deserve to make the playoffs. Both those teams suck, but so I'm hoping that the Chargers can get those games, and if they were to be 7-5, they would not to rhyme, but well, yeah, to rhyme to thrive. They would thrive, right? They'd thrive. They'd be 7-5, and then taking on the Dolphins. I mean, hey, you lose that game, whatever, cool. 7-6, and then Titans. I mean, Titans are. I'm really concerned about what Henry would do to the Chargers' run defense, but even if they do lose that game, I don't know, but they still would be 500 taking on the Colts or the Rams and the Broncos. So that's basically what I get from that schedule is that for all we know, the Chargers could really heat up here, but the fact that they're 500 and getting healthier and getting players back isn't the end of the world. So I don't really have concern with the Chargers, but I really would have liked a win, obviously against the Chiefs, because the division would still be in reach. But with a loss and the Chiefs being 8-2 now, you're doomed. You're doomed, bro. And looking at the Chargers news. There's not much. I mean, they're coming at the power rankings at 15th. The power rankings doesn't mean anything, but 15th, or just not really where you want to be. And I'm gonna scroll down and just see what Bleacher Report has to say about the Chargers. So see how they're feeling about them. I kind of get another person in here. So this was the year the Los Angeles Chargers were finally going to get over the hump. The talent was there on both sides of the ball. So was the franchise quarterback and Justin Herbert. This was the season it was finally going to come together. Instead, the season is starting to look a lot like many in the Chargers' past. After a soul-crushing loss to the Chiefs on Sunday night, the Bolts are a 500 team on the outside of the playoffs looking in. All of the hope instilled in the Chargers, the season appears to have been not. He said they're banked up all over the lineup. Again, the defense is still soft at the point of attack. Quarterback Justin Herbert can only do so much by himself. Yeah, I mean, that's actually a good point. Isaiah Pacheco looked like a man possessed. 7th round rookie out of Rutgers, runs hard. He was dominant, man, and I don't believe he saw any receptions in that game, but just as a runner, he was a menace. He was fantastic. He was a stud, and the Chargers had no answer. Like I said, bro, I don't have any notes or stats. I didn't come prepared with anything. I literally had nothing on me. But it wasn't a bad game, but it wasn't a game where you can take much away from. Oh yeah, Justin Herbert is that guy. We've known that, but can we actually get some talent around him? And the health sucks, but I mean, is there optimism? I don't know. I don't really think there is any optimism right now. I mean, besides being still in the hunt and the schedule is pretty favorable. I mean, I'm looking at the Dolphins and the Titans are definitely two teams that I'd imagine will be favored over the Chargers, but they're not two teams that I look at and say that the Chargers can't beat. The 49ers are a contender, the Chiefs are a contender, and the Chargers should have beat both of them. I mean, when you go down there and you put points on the board and give yourself a lead, your defense got to come up with a stop. That's why you need Joey Bosa out there, right? That's why you brought in Khalil Mack. You traded that second to go get him so that you can pair him on the outside across from Bosa. And then you bring in J.C. Jackson. You were struggling at the corner position. I mean, obviously, Asante Samuel is that dude. You've got you bring in, obviously another good slot corner in Callahan. And Davis is pretty solid. I mean, I don't know. They definitely needed an alpha level corner, but it just has not been good. It has not been good, bro. And that's really what it comes down to is just the health. But yeah, football is once every week. So when you lose a big game, it sucks. But at the end of the day, I mean, the Chargers still have a chance to make the playoffs. And anytime a Charger team can get into the playoffs, anything is possible, especially if they can get healthy. Because the Chargers, yeah, sure, they lost to the Chiefs both games, but by a score. Every time Herbert has lost to Mahomes, it's been by a score. So if you make the playoffs, we know that Herbert can go into Arrowhead and beat Mahomes. We know he can do that. And getting key players is going to be key because at the end of the day, I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs, they're human, right? They're beatable. And we saw Herbert basically have to rely on, Josh Palmer, who was, 3rd-round rookie last year. And Palmer's a good player, but, when you're going up against Patrick Mahomes, who has Travis Kelce and a veteran like MBS, and obviously he was without some good players, but yeah, it's just it's one of those games you would have liked to have, but Yeah, I mean, you still got to go out there against the Cardinals and execute, whether it's Kyler Murray or Colt McCoy. You've got to come ready to play, and that's it, man. It's your boy Thunder Alley. I'm about to sign out here, guys. I'll see you. Peace.